Hey everybody, my name is Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter, and welcome back to my channel. Today is Saturday, September the 14th, 2024, and this is a Flosstube Extra. Today we are going to be discussing the Monopoly game that I'm going to be incorporating into my plans. Not changing them to, but incorporating into. I got this idea from Shay and Tasha over at Sloppy Stitching Sisters. Love their channel and love the game that they're doing. So they are playing a Monopoly game to help decide which whip to stitch. And I didn't want to quite do that because I already have the plans where I pull out of the basket, but I really liked the idea of the Monopoly game. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I wanted to do it for myself for extra stitches because I'm nuts. Okay, so today I'm going to show you the board I'm going to use. I'm going to show you the chance and community chest cards that I made and which tokens I did, and I pulled all the whips that I have assigned, and I'll kind of explain how I'm gonna work the game. So this is my kids' Monopoly board, poking myself in the face, but I'm just using, for right now, I'm using a standard Monopoly board. I hope I don't get a copyright strike for this. I don't think I will. But I'm using a standard Monopoly board, just plain old Monopoly. But I have, it folds up into a tiny square, so I'm having a hard time here. But I have a whip assigned to every property, every railroad. I have a whip assigned to go, a whip assigned to free parking, and one for when you're just visiting jail, and one for when you're in jail. I feel like I have this backwards. Let's try this again. There we go. That's right. Okay, sorry if that was bothering you. For the, so I have my properties. No, I feel like this is more right. I feel like this is more right because this is the first side. Okay, so anyway, I have whips assigned to these properties based on what I consider their value. So I'm not going to be holding this board up when I show which whips I'm going to be doing. Just know that when I start showing the whips, I'm going to, I think, how do I have this? I have like these types of pieces, whips on top of my pile. And then I'm going to show you what I have for the railroads and utilities, I think, and then the properties. But I have, for the properties themselves, the colored ones, I have them kind of grouped together in like value or simplicity or complexity. The railroads, I have one of my seasonal sets, the spring, summer, autumn, winter. I have one of my seasonal sets assigned to the railroads. And then for the utilities, electric company and waterworks, I have assigned two whips by the same designer. And then, like I said, I have one for go, free parking, in jail, visiting jail. And I think that's all of them. And I'll tell you how income tax, luxury tax is going to work when I show, when I go over my rules. And I think that's everything. So let's go ahead and get started because you know how my videos are always crazy long. So for chance and community chest, let's go over those real quick. So community chest, when I would play when I was a kid, I always felt like they were the good cards, right? So all I did was I took some index cards and I cut them in half so that they were smaller. And I looked at what the current cards were for my kids' Monopoly game, and I did some of them similar, and then some of them I had to change up because some of them you earn money on the cards or you have to pay money. Obviously you can't do that, so I just said pay stitches, right? So let's go over these real quick. So one is have a car wash to raise funds for a retreat. Stitch 200 stitches on the Virginia property. Now, what I did, I decided to use the stitches that were already in the game. And the reason why I did like the Virginia property was because if I keep these, I don't know if these cards are going to stay this way or if I'm going to change them up, but I figured if I kept them for longer, then I could use this with any game, because my plan right now is once my game is done, I'm going to change whips out and assign new ones to this stuff. But if I said specific whips, then I would have to change all the cards. So whatever whip is assigned to the Virginia property, I'm going to put 200 stitches on. Okay. All right. So run into a stitchy friend at the coffee shop, 100 stitches on the St. Charles property. Win a foot race. This was from one of the game cards, so it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Win a foot race and raise money for your local needlework shop. Advance to go, stitch 200 stitches. And that would be on the whip that's assigned to the go spot. Help clean up after a retreat, 200 stitches on the New York property. Volunteer at a craft fair, 100 stitches on the Indiana property. I did all of these last night while I was waiting for my video to export and upload. Organize a bake sale for your favorite fabric dyer. Stitch 100 stitches on the Pacific property. I did like 13 of each. Help organize the fancy floss at your local L&S. 100 stitches on Park Place property. Spend the day with your stitchy buddy, your pet. 200 stitches on the Vermont property. Help organize a local retreat. 200 stitches on the Ventnor property. I think when I make my actual board, I might change it up to be more crafty related for the property names. Buy a few cookies from the bake sale. New start, 200 stitches. When I do new start, it is going to be a new start, and I've got my bin with all my new starts, and we're just going to reach in and just pull one out and see what comes out. Hang out with stitchy friends, another new start for 200 stitches. You know, I just realized I did that, and I did not incorporate them into the community chest cards or chance cards at all, I don't think. I'll have to figure something out for that. I might have to add cards to this. Your family cleans the house so you can stitch. Another new start for 200 stitches. And one more. Organize a local stitching group. New start, 200 stitches. So those are the community chest properties. So there's 4 new starts in them, and they're all like happy things, right? And the chance cards, it's not really too much different. Some of them are kind of funny, but this one is, so these are the chance cards, and this one is Advance to Boardwalk, 200 stitches. Advance to Go, and I did 400 stitches for this because of the rules I have for landing on the property or landing on it. Speeding fine, heading to your local needlework shop, 200 stitches on the jail property. Advance to the nearest utility, 100 stitches. So in the game, these cards are advance to this, advance to that, and if it's not purchased, you can go ahead and purchase it. I just put a stitch count on it. I'm not going to really worry about, oh, you can buy it because of how I have my stitches for buying it. Just go back 3 spaces. This one is one of the go to jail ones. Ah, you bought stolen patterns. Go directly to jail and stitch 200 stitches. Hi, Gracie. Please don't come down here. No, no. Take a trip to the Reading Railroad. If you pass go, 200 stitches on go. Oh, take a trip on Reading Railroad and do 100 stitches. If you pass go, then you do 200 stitches on the go property. Find some patterns on sale. 100 stitches on free parking. Advance to the next railroad. If you pass go, 200 stitches on each. Advance to St. Charles Place, do 100 stitches. If you pass go, 200 stitches on go. Your stitchy budget matures, 200 stitches on the boardwalk property. Advance to Illinois Avenue, 100 stitches. If you pass go, 200 stitches on go. And then the last one is a go to jail one. Oh no, you lost your stitchy bug. Go directly to jail and do 200 stitches on the jail property. So those were just some cards I came up with based off of the current Monopoly game cards, and kind of made some adjustments to try to fit what I was doing. And so I may change them up a little bit. I may change them up a little bit, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes, because I'm already thinking of ideas to switch them up. Okay, so those are the cards. And then for the tokens I'm going to have 4 players. We're going to use the car because we're driving around to LNS, to our local needlework shops and retreats. And then we're going to use the thimble because, well, I feel like that's obvious. And then we have 2 stitching buddies. We're going to do the dog. And this is one of the newer Monopoly games. So they have a cat. So we're going to use the kitty cat. They also had a rubber ducky and a penguin, and I really wanted to use them because they're neat, but I stuck with those. Okay, so for nuts, I need my tablet. Okay, forgot to grab my tablet. Okay, so for the, come on, you piece of junk. For the go spot, okay, let me go over the rules real quick. So the first go round, when you land on something, the properties will not be available for purchase. I will just do 100 stitches wherever it lands. Once you pass go, it's 200 stitches on the whip assigned to go. And then once you land on a property, if you land on go, it's going to be 400 stitches. So for purchasing the properties, I was going to do a set amount no matter what, and then I decided to change my mind. On the first side, where it's the browns and the light blues, it's going to be 100 stitches to purchase the property. Side 2 will be 200 stitches, side 3 will be 300 stitches, and side 4 will be 400 stitches. Rent is going to be 100 stitches for side 1, rent will be 50 stitches for side 1, 100 stitches for side 2, 150 stitches for side 3, and 200 stitches for side 4. The rent increases by 50 stitches for when you have for each of the same color. So if you have like a side 1, like one of the light side 1 is the browns and the light blues. So the browns, their rent will only go up to 100, but the light blues, their rent starts at 50 stitches, and then if you have 2 of the light blues, it'll be 100, and if you have all 3 of the light blues, it'll be 150. Like I said, I don't think that's really going to happen too much, so I'm not worried about doing houses and hotels. We're just going to do it like that. If you land on jail, if you're just visiting, I have a whip assigned for that, and I would do 200 stitches on it. If I go to jail, if I either get sent to jail by the chance card or I land on the go to jail space, I go to jail and I have to do 200 stitches on the whip I have assigned to being in jail. And then my next turn, I'm gonna roll for doubles. And if I get doubles, I get out and I continue playing. If I don't get doubles, I have to do another 200 stitches on the in jail property. I can roll 3 times total. So essentially, and the third time, if I don't roll, I have to do 200 stitches on the in jail property to get out. And then, so essentially the in jail whip could get up to 800 stitches for 1 token being in jail if you don't get doubles at all. Because it would be 200 when you land in jail, 200 for roll 1, 200 for roll 2, 200 for roll 3. And then you would come out of jail and then continue playing. The free parking whip, anytime someone lands on income tax, and I'm going to track all this, I'm going to track it all. Anytime someone lands on income tax, 50 stitches will be deposited into the free parking pot. Anytime someone lands on luxury tax, 100 stitches will be deposited into the free parking pot. If you land on free parking and there's nothing in the pot, it's 200 stitches minimum. Like if I land on free parking and there's nothing like nobody's landed on income tax or free park or luxury tax, if no one's landed on the taxes and there's nothing in the free parking pot, I'm going to do 200 stitches. If only, I said, or 200 stitches minimum. If there is stitches in there, but it's not 200, I'll just throw 200 in there. If I remember playing this game, and sometimes you could win like over $1,000. That the house rules for me, for us, you could win like thousands of dollars because free parking just wasn't a spot that was landed on very often. So if it is something ridiculous like that, then I will probably have to spread that stitching out over a few weeks and just track how much I've done, only because this is a lot in addition to what I'm doing. So let's go over. So I showed you the board, I showed you the cards, I went over my rules. So let's go over the whips. Okay, the whip that is assigned to go. I'm going to try to get through this a little fast because once I'm done with this, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to set the game up and then we're going to play 1 round so I know what I'm stitching on. The whip that is assigned to go, I wasn't going to do this, just real quick, I wasn't going to do this, but I remembered a few months ago, I was just going to play the game and then you would just see what whips were assigned. Then I remembered a few months ago when I was pulling like seasonal projects, everybody was so sad that I didn't show what I was pulling. So Here we go. All right. The whip assigned to go is one of my kids' stockings. This is from Heaven and Earth Designs. It is the Enchanted Christmas Reindeer by Donna Gelsinger. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm not going to get into details about what they are, like how big they are or anything. I'm just going to show you what the cover photo is and my starting point. That's all I'm going to show. And I have all my stuff listed out so I can track. I don't have my board, but that's where that's starting from. You can kind of see his head there. So this is the whip assigned to go. So if I pass go, I'm gonna do 200 stitches on this. And if I land on go, I'm gonna do 400 stitches on it. Okay. If the free parking whip, so we're gonna do the kind of specialty spots first, and then we'll go over the properties. The free parking whip is my other stocking for my other kid from Heaven and Earth Designs. This is The Falling Snow by Alan Guiana. That's what it's gonna look like. And that's my starting point. And it looks like that one has more. Oh, because it does. Never mind. This one's further along. Not by much though. They're pretty equal. This one's just more spread out with the stitching. So it looks like it's more. I mean, it is more, but it don't matter. It's whatever. Okay. So if I'm just visiting jail, I pulled Spanish Sampler. Picture on page 36. It's out of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, 101 Best Sold Projects, and 36. Got to come in from the side because there's a pattern on the other side. Just real quick, that's what it's going to look like when it's done. And make sure I'm showing from the right angle. That's my starting point. Okay. If I land in jail, I pulled a whip of shame. And I pulled my least favorite whip of shame. I love this piece. I think it's really, really cute. I hate working on it. Dimensions, a whole lot of latte. I hate working on this thing, but it's really cute. I want to see it done. So this is my jail piece. And that's my starting point. So, let me back up a minute. So free parking, crap, I meant to go over this. So free parking, just to recap, that's the tree stocking, and that is 50 stitches from income tax and 100 stitches from luxury tax. Anytime someone lands on those stitches get thrown in the pot. And if you land on free parking, you stitch what's in the pot. And then I have one card for Community Chest and Chance assigned to that one to throw 100 stitches on it. If I land on jail, Spanish Sampler, if I'm just visiting jail, I'm going to do 200 stitches on it. Okay, if I land in jail, this thing is going to get 200 stitches from that player right away, and then they're going to roll for doubles to get out a total of 3 times. If they get doubles, they get out. If not, it's 200 stitches each time. And then I think I have a card assigned to this one too for something about getting a speeding ticket or something. Okay. So these two are for the utilities. Electric company, which is over on the side 2 of the board. Electric company is on side 2, so to purchase it, they're from Sugar Stitches Designs. So the first one is Cupid's Cafe. This is electric company. So to purchase it, it will be 200 stitches, and the rent on it is going to be 100 stitches, or 150 stitches if someone owns both properties. And that's my starting point. It is not close to being done. There's a lot of white stitching. It's kind of hard to see here, but there's white stitching too. It looks like it's close to being done, and it's really not. I did not realize how much stitching was involved in this piece when I started it. Okay, and then the Waterworks is on side 3. I love this piece. It's a Marshmallow World. And so it's on side 3, so to purchase it, it'll be 300 stitches. Rent will be 150 or 200 if someone owns both. Okay, railroads. I pulled the seasonal set that I have from Cooler Design Studio. So, Reading Railroad is going to be Spring Sampler. And I know in the game it's a set amount to purchase, like the same amount for all the railroads, but I'm trying to keep it a little simple, and I'm just keeping it side 1, side 2, side 3, just to make it easier for myself with tracking who gets what. So Spring Sampler is on side 1. So to purchase, it'll be 100 stitches. Rent will be 50 stitches up to 200 stitches, depending on how many is, depending on how many railroads that token owns. Okay. And then Pennsylvania Railroad is Summer Sampler by Cooler Design Studio. And it's on side 2, so it'll be 100 and purchase will be 200 stitches to purchase, 100 stitches for rent, or 150. Oh my God, 400. There we go, Jesus. And as I play, I may have to adjust this. Like I may have to make the railroad rents and everything separate. I don't know, because now I'm just mathing in my head like how much winter is going to be, because it's on side 4 and there's 4 properties. Okay. B&O Railroad on side 3 is going to be Autumn Sampler. And being on side 3, that's my starting point for that. Being on side 3, purchasing will be 300, and then rent will start at 150 and increase by 50 for every railroad owned. I'm gonna play one game of this, like not one round, but like a game, and see what adjustments I need to make for the stitch counts. Okay, and then side 4, which is short line, is Winter Sampler. Winter Sampler. And I'll go over, like, when they get worked on, I'll go over, like, fabric and all that at that point. So since winter is on side 4, it's going to be 400 stitches to purchase and rent starts at 200. Okay, all right, we are now at the regular properties. Give me 1 second. Okay. So for the brown properties, which is Baltic and Mediterranean, for Baltic, I'm going to be doing this Artistique Nativity Motifs. Purchasing, here's my starting point. Purchasing will be 100, rent starts at 50. We'll just do that. I'm just going to say what the purchase price is and the rent, what the rent starts at. And then for Mediterranean is one of my gnomes, and it's Spa Gnome. I'm going to hold it back here because this is the whole pattern. And that's my starting point. Okay. Let me do it. Let me just throw them down here. Okay. Then the light blue properties, which is, hang on, Oriental, Vermont, and Connecticut. We have from Cross Stitch for Everyone, Ho Ho Ho. Not realize how pathetic of a start I have on this. I thought it was further along. It's not a huge piece. I think that's why it's, I feel like my percentage complete, oh no, I think it's like maybe 10%. So we have Ho Ho Ho. And then from Stitching Jewels Design, we have James Dean. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And that's my starting point. I'm trying to look through the fabric. Yeah, that's my starting point. Okay, and then the last one for the light blue properties. Whoopsies. Oh. Okay. My chair's squeaky. I think I need some WD-40. I noticed it last night when I was editing my video. I was like, oh my God, some of the squeak sounds like I'm farting. Okay. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Fumaka. No. Fumaka. Okay. So the last one for the light blue properties is Summertime from Stitch Robia. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. And there's my starting point. Okay, for the second, so now we move into the second side of the, oh, all those that I just showed, just a reminder, it's 100 stitches to purchase and rent starts at 50. And that's for all the ones I just showed. Okay, so now we move over to the second side of the board, and these properties, their purchase price starts at 200 and the rent starts at 100. And the first set that I'm going to show is the kind of purpley ones, and that is St. Charles, States, and Virginia. First one up for St. Charles is Map of America. Yeah, okay. map of America, where I realize I don't know my Midwest states. And there's Oklahoma. That's my starting point. You can't see, there's white stitching up above Oklahoma. It's hard to see. And then States Avenue is from Stitchman Darcy. And this is I Love You to Death. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And here is my starting point. Hang on, I can't see. There's my starting point. I need to get that skull filled in because it's looking so weird. And then the last one for this, for Virginia, is from Shannon Christine Designs. And this is Autumn Favorites. And here is my starting point for that. Okay. And continuing on the second side of the board, so this is still 200 stitches to purchase, rent starting at 100. We have St. James, Tennessee, and New York. And these are all going to be my Harry Potter stitch, Choose Your Own Adventure stitch along from Cunning Cross Stitch. This is how the prologue looks. All the pieces are going to be different, but it's I'm doing this 3 times. So this one is the starting point. Hang on. This is the starting point for my younger sons. Right here, it's hard to see. I'm not very far with any of them. That's the starting point for my younger son. And then trying to make sure I show them oriented correctly. Then this is mine. And then this is my older son's. So those are the orange properties. Okay. So now we move on to the third side of the property, and these are the red ones, Kentucky, Indiana, and Illinois, and their rent starts at 300, no, their purchase price is 300 stitches. Their rent starts at 150. And first one up is one of my smaller full coverages. And this is from the Cross Stitch Studio. And it's a crop of White Tiger Ghost. Boop. Gotta boop the nose. And that's my starting point. Okay, next up is from the Witchy Stitcher. And this is PSL, they're here. And, oh, that's right. I'm only doing this on half the fabric so I can save the other half for something else. That's my starting point for that. I feel like I have to sneeze. Okay. And last up for the reds, you should not be there, is one of my Dimensions kits. And this is Cherry Blossom Creek. And that is my starting point. I'm excited to play. Okay. Hang on one second. Let me move this stuff around a little bit. So I'm trying to keep it from falling all into a big pile because I have it organized. I have a system here with how I have everything. I'm trying to make sure it doesn't fall over and get disorganized. Okay, so those were the reds. And then we have the yellows, which is Atlantic, Ventnor, and Marvin. And again, their purchase price is $300 and rent starts at $150. And first up is from Ursula Michael, and this is A Wonderful Time of the Year. That is what it's going to look like. And just do it like this. And that is my starting point. Okay, and then so that was Atlantic. For Ventnor is, from Little Robin Designs, and this is Halloween Feather Tree. And that is my starting point on that. I was going to say, oh, it's almost done. No, I still have another whole thing down here of like doodads, and then I got the pot and everything, so. All right, hang on, because the floss all came out with it. Okay. And then for Marvin Gardens is from Long Dog. Oh, I said it right. Long Dog Samplers. Long Dog Samplers. And this is, what happened? Oh, crossword. And that is my starting point. Okay, side 4, we are moving on to the greens, which is Pacific, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania, and their purchase price will be 300 stitches, and their rent starts at, nope, we're on side 4. Their purchase price is 400 stitches, and their rent starts at 200. I'm starting to have second thoughts about this. Okay, so for Pacific, I'm going to leave this in the plastic because it's a pain in the butt, but from Lila Studio, this is Halloween Quaker. And that's my starting point. And then for North Carolina, we have also from Lila's Studio. I actually pulled this to work on this week. Of course, if you're watching this from the future, you're going to be like, what? Because it's not this week. Holiday Quaker by Lila's Studio. This one was a newer start, so I don't have much to start with. I realized I held that up for like 2 seconds. There we go. Okay. And for Pennsylvania, from Rosewood Manor, we have Dreaming of Autumn Leaves. That's what that's going to look like. And that is my starting point. Okay. Last area of side 4 will be the dark blue, Park Place and Boardwalk. For Park Place, we have my Mirabilia that I have started, which is Nightingale. And I don't remember which way this goes. I feel like it might go this way, maybe? Yeah, I think it goes this way. That's my starting point with her. And then Boardwalk. Is going to be my Mermaids of the Season style from what, last year? From Bella Filipina. And this is my starting point for this one. Hanging threads everywhere. So, those are the whips for the game. We'll see how this goes. So I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to get the game set up, and I'll probably pull the properties on the first side of the board because I feel like that's as far as we're going to go. Maybe the first side, like up through, in case someone gets, oh no, because you can spin again. You can roll again if you get doubles. I'll probably have the first like 2 properties. Anyway, let me figure it out, and then I'll be right back, and we'll play the first round of how all this is going to work out. Okay, so I have part of the board shown here. I've got my 4 little tokens. We got the cat, the dog, the car, and the thimble. Car's going backwards. There we go. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I've got my chance cards over here. The community chest cards are over on the community chest side. I don't want to shake the camera too much, so I'm going to just leave it right here. If doubles get rolled multiple times and it progresses farther past than what we can see at Pennsylvania Railroad, then I will have to maybe pause and readjust the camera a little bit. But this was the best I could do for right now. So we're going to roll. We're going to see where these guys all land. I'm going to write down where they are because I'm not leaving this thing set up for weeks at a time when I'm just doing 1 round per week. So I'm going to write down where they all are, and I will just briefly show the cover photos of which projects I'm going to be working on. So first up is Cat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Connecticut. So that'll be 100 stitches. 7 for the dog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, a chance card. What's up first? Oh no! Ah, you bought stolen patterns. Go directly to jail. Oh no! Starting off strong. All right, so the dog is in jail. Hang on. Initial. So, okay. Okay. 8 for the thimble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they landed on Vermont. And since this is the first round, these will just be 100 stitches. And for the car is also 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so for, see, this is what I'm going to show because it's my game and I've done forgot which pieces are what. Okay, so for Vermont, and Connecticut, right? Yeah. Okay, so for Vermont is James Dean, which is that one right there. So this one is going to get 100 stitches for, no, Vermont is going to get so James Dean is going to get 200 stitches on it because both the thimble and the car landed on Vermont. And this is the first round. And then Connecticut, the cat landed on Connecticut, which is, I don't know why I grabbed those because they're both in Pattern Keeper. Summertime, and this one will get 100 stitches for the cat landing on it. And then the dog landed his butt in jail. So, of course, Whole Lotta Latte will get 200 stitches for him landing in jail. Okay, so be right back. Okay, so we played one round, wrote down everything, and I know what Monopoly whips are going to be worked on, and so we'll see if we can successfully keep up with this. Not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous for how it's all gonna start playing out when I get to side 4 of the board and once properties start getting purchased. I might have to adjust the stitch counts a little bit. We'll see. But this is gonna be a lot of fun, and I am going to end up doing a multiple level, like I was showing in my Flosstube. I'm gonna do a multiple level where there's like the outer circle, the inner circle, and it goes in. Yeah, it's gonna happen. But that's not gonna be for a while because I need to actually make that board. So, yeah. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. And I want to give another special thank you to Tasha and Shay over at the Sloppy Stitching Sisters for their inspiration, and also to Yoshi and Alara for their assistance in coming up with everything. So that's it. Okay, and what I'll probably do is I will start kind of taking a break like at some point in my video, and I'm going to insert playing one round of Monopoly, so that like when I'm showing what whips I'm going to work on, at some point I'm going to insert, because that's only going to be like a 2-minute video, so we'll insert that into my regular floss tubes. So we'll see what we're working on, and I will show whatever I can get done. I will show that in my next floss tube. So take care, happy stitching, get a lot of stitches in, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.